for bright and beautiful music. This is KIXI, Seattle.
CBS News next on KIXI. It's now 11 o'clock.
CBS News, an extremely close race, one still too close to call in the Democratic presidential primary in Wisconsin. This is Doug Poling reporting on the CBS Radio Network. The outcome of the New York primary has already been decided, but Wisconsin is going right down to the wire in the Democratic race. A report from George Herman in our CBS News election headquarters in New York.
The race is fantastically close between Carter and Udall. In the last hour, the already narrow gap closed farther and farther. Suddenly, Carter was ahead by exactly 3 votes out of more than 600,000 cast. Then Udall took the lead again. At the moment, with 87% of the Wisconsin precincts reporting, Carter is ahead by 912 votes. On the Republican side, President Ford's lead has stayed firmly at around 55 to 56% in Wisconsin. In New York's mixed-up delegate contest, Senator Jackson is leading or has won 104 delegate races. That gives him about 39% of New York's delegates, far less than the 51% he expected to win. Morris Udall is second in New York, leading in 72 delegate races. 65 are uncommitted, and Jimmy Carter is leading in 33. George Herman, CBS News Election Headquarters.
More news in a moment.
I'm Jim Kelly, CBS Radio Sports, and this Thursday we'll begin coverage of the 38th Masters Golf Tournament live from Augusta, Georgia. Jack Nicklaus trying to win his 6th green jacket, but you can never tell what'll happen when you get a group of great golfers together at Augusta. Now, we'll have special reports beginning Thursday, plus extra coverage Saturday and Sunday, along with reports, of course, in our regularly scheduled CBS Sports broadcast. Listen for special CBS Sports coverage of the 38th Masters beginning Thursday, right here on most of these CBS Radio Network stations.
The United States Military Academy is investigating the possibility of a major cheating scandal among the cadets. Officials at West Point confirmed a probe is underway regarding the possibility of unauthorized collaboration on an academic assignment. The alleged violations are said to involve about 100 cadets. In Houston, doctors who performed the autopsy on Howard Hughes say the billionaire died as a result of kidney failure. It was also announced the 70-year-old Hughes will be buried in a family plot in Houston. Hughes was a man who shunned publicity and went to great lengths to avoid being spotted in public. There were rumors that he wore a lot of elaborate disguises in public, but one of Hughes' former bodyguards, Ron Kessler, says that's not so.
He never went out in disguises. He never went out at all, and nobody ever came in. I can only give you my feelings on why he didn't go out, and that was he had a morbid fear of germs and communicable diseases. Also, he was something of an introvert, even when he was in the outside world.
As to why Hughes lived like a recluse, Kessler speculates it was because the man had already done everything he wanted to accomplish in life. Several armed men have hijacked a Philippine airliner with 73 people on board over the southern Philippines. They forced the pilot to return to Manila Airport, where negotiations with authorities have begun by radio telephone. One of the hijackers is demanding $300,000 and the release of 5 people being held in an Army detention camp outside Manila. The Federal Reserve Board reports that consumer borrowing rose in February by $1.1 billion. Consumer indebtedness stood at 3.5% higher than during the same month a year ago. The continuing increase in consumer debt is seen as a sign of more willingness to spend money, a good indication for the economy. In London, the British shipping company says a Syrian gunboat fired on one of its cargo ships in Lebanese water off Tripoli, and the British vessel was hit 7 times above the waterline. No casualties reported. The owners asked the British government to lodge the strongest possible protest with the Syrian government. Britain's new Prime Minister has announced a series of actions and proposals to try to cut Britain's inflation rate, which is now about 14% annually. James Callaghan announced stiffer taxes on gasoline, alcoholic beverages, and cigarettes, but said he will cut taxes for consumer durable goods. Callaghan also offered labor unions tax cuts for lower-paid workers in exchange for a 3% ceiling on pay hikes. This is Doug Poling, CBS News.
CBS for Seattle, this is KIXI. It's now 6 minutes past 11.